Scott, another meeting here with Denver. How do you kind of see this series playing out compared to that last one, which was a real defensive battle between both teams?
Probably much of the same. Maybe a little more wide open. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? They're obviously a very good defensive team, starting with their goaltender. They possess the puck a lot. So they certainly have, as we know, the offensive weapons and a good offensive team, but I think they're a very good defensive team in the way they play. Not just in their own zone, but just getting back above players and keeping pucks live. Their recoveries and reloading is really good, and it makes it hard sometimes to make clean plays. But for us, again, we know we're going to have to probably weather some storms in the offensive zone. But I thought when we played them Saturday, we did a much better job of not allowing them to do some of the things they like to do. But they have good enough players; they're still going to get some opportunities. So I don't know how it's going to play out, really. I think they're a good defensive team. We've been playing better defensively, so who knows?
Would you like to see your team open it up a little more this time around, or are you looking for the guys to play like they did last time and stymie Denver like they did?
Well, I think the game's going to kind of dictate that. I mean, the key for us is obviously we have to be good defensively. Offensively, we've been better lately, but certainly for us, we've got to first be good defensively to create offensive chances and limit their time in the zone, because if you spend a lot of time in your zone, you're not going to have a lot of energy to go the other way, and that's one thing they're good at. They're good at playing in the other team's defensive zone, wearing teams down, and obviously creating opportunities, but also just sucking the energy out of teams. So, and I thought that was the case Friday night when we played them. When we did, even though they might not have gotten, always great looks, when you do get the puck, you don't have a ton of energy to go the other way. So we've got to find ways to minimize that.
From Tuesday to Saturday, the PK went 13 for 13. How confident are your units right now, your PK units?
Well, better. Certainly they did the job. It starts with our goaltender. Again, he's been a key part of that. But there's some pairs that are doing well together. I think they've developed and gelled a little bit better. But again, another key is don't give them too many power plays. Their power play is very good, just like St. Cloud's, and it seems like it's a broken record every week. We see a lot of good power plays, but we've got to minimize that for sure and try and play 5-on-5 and take advantage of our power play opportunities. But I've been happy with the kill. But again, it's going to get challenged this weekend against a high skill team, and you can't give them a lot of opportunities.
You face a team like this and games as defensive as you expect these games to be. Does it put a little more onus on your power play when you do get an opportunity to try to bury something? Absolutely.
I think every opportunity, whether it's power play or 5-on-5, you got to bear down and you got to hopefully put it in the back of the net, because you're not going to get a lot of good opportunities. And I don't think it's going to be this type of game where it's going to be so defensive that there might not be a lot of space on the rink, and it's who can create plays off that type of structure. We know that they have the guys to do it. We know we have the guys that can do that. But to me, it's absolutely you have to capitalize on opportunities. And sometimes whether they get 20 shots or 30 shots or 40 shots. And whether it's 5-on-5 or 5-on-4, if you get some grade A opportunities, you gotta really bear down and hopefully capitalize.
Before Saturday, you've been averaging 5+ goals per game the previous 6 conference games. How good do you feel about this team offensively right now?
A lot of that, Bruce, is when our power play is scored, it obviously gives your group a little bit more life and energy. And I think when you saw the Tuesday game against Mankato where we didn't score early. You don't want it to suck the life out of your team 5-on-5. You got to keep playing, and we didn't generate a lot against another good defensive team. And I thought Saturday, we didn't get many against St. Cloud, but they played tighter and better defensively. And sometimes I think they go hand in hand. If you could score on the power play, it gives your bench some energy and some life, and kind of inject some things confidence-wise 5-on-5 too. And when you don't, it's hard to score 5-on-5, and so some of that energy isn't there, you know. And you can work and try, and that's kind of been how we've been too. Like when we've scored and generated goals on the power play, our 5-on-5 play's been better, and when we haven't, I don't think it's been as good as it needs to be.
3 weeks ago, Scott, you started the second half and you're tied for 7th. Now you're tied for 3rd after just those 3-week series. Is that kind of a good indication about even as young as this team still is, about how they're just kind of sticking with it for the second half now?
Yeah, there's progress. I mean, the beauty of the 3-point games is you can jump up in a hurry, and there could also be some separation. But you look how tight it is. You know, you just gotta keep playing, moving forward, trying to play well, trying to get points. I like when we start with Friday wins, because it gives us an opportunity to get more, and that's what we're going to need to do going into Denver, is try and play a good game, get a win on Friday, worry about Saturday. But our group's progressed. There's no question. I think they've gained some confidence through the stretch. They've gained a stronger belief, and when you have those things, those are good things as far as trying to have more success.
Scott, we talked about at the beginning of the year that this defensive group, a little smaller, going to bring a different dynamic to the team. Are we kind of starting to see that really come out here the last few weeks, especially with the point production the team's been able to put up? Because I feel like a lot of it is because these guys, you had mentioned it earlier, you can't get trapped in your own zone. This defensive group has been really good at spending less time back there and getting the puck out.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously going into the year we knew Scotty was going to bring offense. After that, the other guys, I wouldn't look at them the way I look at Scotty. But they've contributed a lot of it, power play stuff. But they're good players. They can move pucks. We've got some different dynamics, whether it's size, skating, that they all bring to the table. And, I thought we still need to get better coming out of our zone. I thought against St. Cloud, against North Dakota, and it wasn't just our defensemen. I just thought our 5-man units turned the puck over a lot. And we need to get better there. You need to get pucks out over the blue line. Sometimes I think we get maybe too cute, too fancy. We make some soft plays, and the teams that check the way St. Cloud does, the way Denver does, you just gotta. Your first thing has got to be get it out of the zone, right? If you can skate it out, pass it out, that's great. But you got to make sure it gets out, because otherwise, you're staying in your zone longer, which you saw against St. Cloud. I thought Friday we were playing with fire against them, because they're another good offensive team that you can't give opportunities to. And when we do come out, obviously you're not spending time in your zone, and whether you make a play going up the rink or not, it's out of the zone, and they've got to regroup. So those are important parts of the game, and just our puck management and making good decisions. I like the fact our guys want to make plays, but sometimes those plays might not be the right play. So we just got to keep learning that. I think it's still a learning curve, but we're getting better. And we have guys that certainly can make plays coming out of the zone, but they're 5-man units. You have to play in 5-man units, and if you don't, you're going to probably struggle to come out of your own.
Anything stand out to you about Nick Sweeney?
Well, a lot of things. Well, I mean, it's nice to have him back in the lineup. He's got a knack for making plays and scoring goals. Obviously, he brings a speed element. He's a key guy on both our special teams. So, I think he's had a good year. I don't know where he would have been if he didn't get hurt a couple times, but he seems to have bounced back. I thought he had a good weekend. I thought Friday night for sure that line was really good, him and Carson. But that's the speed element. The speed element is critical. But he also made some nice plays. So it's nothing that really stands out. It's just nice to see him back in our lineup and playing with some confidence offensively and defensively. So hopefully that bodes well for us moving forward.